Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Balaji Chemistry Classes. Okay, subscribe my channel, watch and like the videos, give your valuable suggestions. Now in this video, we are going to come across about dipole moment. For all competitive exams, the applications of dipole moment are very important. Now in this video, what is dipole moment and what are the applications of the dipole moment? Based on the resulting dipole moment of a molecule only, we can decide the given molecule is polar or non-polar. So there are all concepts we will come across in this video. Now, so before going to come across about this dipole moment, so we need to come across what is dipole. Now see the word here, any two oppositely charges are separated with some distance. That arrangement is called what? A dipole. Di means what? Two. Poles, two poles are there, here positive pole, negative pole. So positive charge and negative charge are separated with some distance, then the arrangement is called what? A dipole. Every dipole will have dipole moment value. Okay, it is a measure of polarity of the bond. Okay, you can see here, polarity of a molecule is expressed in terms of dipole moment. Now how can you find dipole moment? Dipole moment mu is equal to Q into L, charge into distance between them. And the units of dipole moment are what? Debye. 1 debye is equal to, we can write it is 3.33 into 10 power minus 30 coulomb into meter it is. Coulomb into meter. And 1 debye is equal to 10 power minus 18 into ESU centimeter. Electrostatic units into centimeter. So coulombs and electrostatic units are the units for charge. Okay. For distance we can say meters or centimeters. It is in SI system and it is in CGS system. Okay now here very important point you need to remember, dipole moment is a vector quantity. What is the meaning of vector quantity? It depends on both magnitude and direction. Dipole moment is a vector quantity. It depends on both magnitude and direction. Okay, so based on that only the resulting dipole moment of a molecule can change because it is a vector quantity. Now listen one more important point. Dipole moment vectors always pointing towards more electronegative atom. Okay, let us take I gave a molecule HF, hydrogen fluoride molecule I gave to you here. So hydrogen and fluorine are different atoms. So they can't share this pair of electrons exactly equally between them. Let us take here, suppose hydrogen and hydrogen atoms are there. They are sharing 2 electrons. The electrons will be shared between these 2 hydrogens equally. But in case of HF molecule, so whatever the pair of electrons are present between these 2 atoms, they cannot be shared equally. Fluorine is more electronegative. That's what the pair of electrons are more right towards more electronegative element. That's what this dipole moment vector also towards more electronegative element side. Always the dipole moment vector will be pointing towards more electronegative element side in a given molecule. Okay now? Right. Now how can we calculate the dipole moment? Come to here, different calculations of dipole moment will come across. So here you can take AB is one bond and AC is one bond. Okay, 2 bonds are separated with some angle. Okay, now the polarity of AB bond you can take as a mu1 and the polarity of AC bond you can take as a mu2. Then resulting dipole moment of this molecule we can find as a square root of mu1 square plus mu2 square into 2 mu1 mu2 cos theta. By using this formula, when 2 bonds are having separate, the 2 bonds are separated with some angle, we can find its dipole moment value. Okay, now if you know that dipole moment value, we can find the percentage of ionic character for a given compound. Percentage of ionic character we can find by using the dipole moment value. So observed dipole moment or experimental dipole moment by calculated dipole moment, or it is also called theoretical dipole moment into 100. So observed dipole moment by calculated dipole moment into 100, we will get the percentage of ionic character of a given compound. Now how can you calculate this dipole moment? It is 4.8 into bond length in angstroms. The dipole moment will be calculated when bond length is given. So the calculated or theoretical dipole moment is equal to 4.8 into bond length in angstroms. By using this formula, we can find percentage of ionic character for a given compound. Now come to here, bond moment also we can find. Let us take any molecule is there. Suppose HF molecule is there, not HF, you can take another molecule. Let us take H2S molecule is there. In this H2S molecule we have certain dipole moment value. But how much bond moment will be there? For SH bond, if you want to find the bond moment, now we can use this formula. Bond moment is equal to observed dipole moment by 2 into cos theta by 2. The theta is what? Angle between these 2 bonds. Theta is what? Angle between these 2 bonds. So when you know the dipole moment of a molecule, and bond angle, we can find the bond moment of a bond. A particular bond is given. For that bond, we can find this bond moment by using this formula. That is observed dipole moment by 2 into cos theta by 2. Like this, we can find different applications of dipole moment. Next, here we will come across, if molecule is given, how can we say the given molecule is polar or non-polar, we will come across. So before that, you can take the screenshot of this board. Okay. Next we will come across how a given molecule, we can say that is it polar or non-polar, we will discuss. So make a screenshot of the board first. Okay now? Right. See the board now. We are going to come across about applications of this dipole moment. Most of the time they will ask you among the following which is polar and which molecule is non-polar, they will ask you. Okay. If a molecule is more polar, that can be more soluble in water, and that molecule which is more polar will have more critical temperature value. In states of matter chapter they will ask you among the following molecule which is having highest critical temperature, they will ask you. Highest critical temperature will be there for a molecule which is having highest dipole moment. So you know that already solubility like dissolves like polar compounds are soluble in polar solvent, non-polar compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents. Okay, so the molecule which is having a more dipole moment, more polarity, it can be liquefied easily. So like this, there are so many applications based on dipole moment. So that all different molecules will come across here. How to decide dipole moment of a molecule we will come across here. Now you can see the board. First molecule I am taking carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide molecule is a linear shape molecule. Between carbon and oxygen there is two bonds are present. Here between carbon and oxygen is more electronegative. Therefore dipole moment vectors will be towards oxygen. Okay now see the board. Here this bond, this dipole moment vector of carbon oxygen bond will be towards oxygen because oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. Now come to here, this bond, whatever the carbon oxygen bond is there, this dipole moment is towards oxygen again. Okay, let us consider this is a mu1, this bond moment is mu1, this bond moment is mu2. These two vectors are equal and opposite. That's what resulting vectors become 0. When a resulting dipole moment of a molecule becomes 0, then the molecule is said to be what? A non-polar molecule. What is this molecule? Non-polar molecule. Carbon dioxide molecule is non-polar molecule because it is having linear shape. Due to this linear shape and oxygen is more electronegative than carbon, both the vectors are equal and opposite. That's what resulting dipole moment of a molecule is 0. That's what carbon dioxide molecule is what? Non-polar molecule. They will ask you a question like this. Bonds present in carbon dioxide molecule are polar. Yes, it contains polar bonds. But the molecule is what? Non-polar because the resulting dipole moment is what? 0. Okay now? Next you can take a second molecule. I am taking water molecule. We need to know the shape of the water molecule. Water molecule shape is a angular shape and here oxygen contains two lone pairs. Between hydrogen and oxygen is more electronegative. That's what dipole moment vector will be towards oxygen. So both the vectors are towards oxygen only. That's what resulting vector will increase. So that overall dipole moment of a water molecule is not equal to 0. Now we can say that water molecule is a polar molecule. Water molecule is what? Polar molecule. If a molecule contains two equal and opposite dipole moment, then the resulting molecule becomes dipole moment becomes 0. Then the molecules are said to be non-polar molecules. If the resulting dipole moment is not getting cancelled, then the molecule is said to be what? Polar molecule. Here carbon dioxide is non-polar, water is what? Polar. So based on the dipole moment vectors direction only, we can find the given molecule is polar or non-polar. Let me compare one more example here. This is very important example. You can take here ammonia is there, NH3, and there is another molecule you can take NF3. If question I am asking between NH3 and NF3 which is more polar, most of the students will say that NF3 is more polar because here fluorine is more electronegative. Yes, fluorine is more electronegative, but dipole moment of a molecule depends on what? Direction of the vectors. Now see the board here. Ammonia molecule is what? Pyramidal in shape. Okay now? And this NF3 molecule is also pyramidal in shape. Now between this nitrogen and hydrogen, which is more electronegative? Here lone pair will be there on nitrogen. Between hydrogen and nitrogen is more electronegative. That's what all these vectors will be towards nitrogen. So the resulting vector will be increases. But in case of NF3 molecule, fluorine is more electronegative than nitrogen. That's what all the resulting vectors will be towards fluorine. Means here what is happening? Dispersion of vectors is taking place. That's what resulting vector will decreases. Here alignment of vectors is taking place. That's what resulting vector will increase. That's what here ammonia molecule is more polar than NF3 molecule. Like this, based on the direction of the resulting vectors, we can decide the dipole moment of a given molecule. Okay, let me come across about another important example. So see the board everyone. Here I am taking cyclohexyl chloride I am taking, and one more example I am taking chlorobenzene. These two I am comparing. One is cyclohexyl chloride, the other one is what? Chlorobenzene. Now when you consider these two molecules, right, both are looking similar, but here this carbon is having sp3 hybridization and this carbon is having what? sp2 hybridization. We know that electronegativity of sp2 carbon is more than that of sp3 carbon. That's what here this carbon is less electronegative. This carbon is what? Less electronegative. That's what charge difference will be more here. This carbon is more electronegative. In both the cases, chlorine only there. Here chlorine more electronegative, sp3 carbon is less electronegative. So electronegativity difference will be more. Here this carbon is more electronegative. Chlorine also more electronegative. Electronegativity difference will be less. That's what cyclohexyl chloride will have more dipole moment than what chlorobenzene. Okay. Next we can take one more important example. Here you can take this compound I am giving. It is cis. Okay, now let me write cis dichloro. Okay, so cis 1,2 dichloroethane I am taking, and trans 1,2 dichloroethane I am taking. Okay, now this is cis, this is trans dichloroethane metric. Okay, now we will decide that dipole moment of these two molecules. Here dipole moment vector will be towards chlorine because chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. Okay, here also dipole moment vector is what? Towards chlorine. Both the vectors are in the same direction. So the resulting dipole moment is not equal to 0. And come to the trans case, both the vectors are equal and opposite. That's what trans will have dipole moment 0. Okay, this is cis compound and this is what trans compound. Trans dipole moment is 0. Cis is having more polarity than trans. That's what boiling point of cis is more than trans. Solubility of cis is also more than trans because it is having more dipole moment. But most of the students, what they will by head cis is more than always trans, and trans will have always 0, they will by head. That is not correct always. So you need to check the vector's direction. Now let me come to the next example. Next example is here. Sixth example you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons are there. This second carbon double bond is there. 2 butene and 2 butene trans compound I wrote here. This is trans 2 butene. And come to here, this is cis 2 butene. Now out of this trans and cis 2 butene, which will have more dipole moment, we will decide based on the dipole moment vector. See the board everyone. Between this this carbon is sp2 hybridized carbon. This is sp2 hybridized carbon, and this carbon is what? sp3 hybridized carbon. This is sp3 hybridized carbon, and this is what? sp2 hybridized carbon. Now we know that already sp2 hybridized carbon is more electronegative than sp3 hybridized carbon. That's what this dipole moment vector will be towards this carbon. Okay, this is the direction of dipole moment vector. Now in these two carbons also, this vector will be there towards this more electronegative carbon because sp2 hybridized carbon is more electronegative. Now these two dipole moments vectors are equal and opposite. That's what this trans compound will have dipole moment is 0. This trans 2 butene is having dipole moment 0. Now come to the cis example. Here dipole moment vector will be towards sp2 carbon. This is also towards sp2 carbon. So both are in the same direction. That's what here cis will have more dipole moment. Cis compound is having more dipole moment. Okay, so cis 2 butene is a polar molecule, whereas trans 2 butene you can take it is a non-polar molecule because resulting dipole moment is equal to 0. Now students, what they will memorize or what they will buttify, trans will have 0 dipole moment always, but it is not correct. Now see the next example, you can understand very clearly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons are there here. Okay, second carbon double bond is there. It is trans 2 pentene. Okay, this is trans molecule, and you can take this is a cis 2 pentene. 2 pentene also exhibits geometrical isomerism. Okay, now see the board here between this CH3 and this carbon, which is more electronegative, sp2 carbon is more electronegative, so dipole moment vector will be towards this carbon, and this vector will be towards this sp2 carbon. Both are opposite but not equal. These two vectors are not equal because it is ethyl group, it is what? Methyl group. So both the vectors in opposite direction only but not equal. That's what here this trans compound dipole moment is not equal to 0, but it will be less. Now come to the cis molecule. So both the dipole moment vectors will be at same time. Okay. Now that's what cis will have more dipole moment than trans, but cis is polar only. Trans is also polar only. Here dipole moment of the trans 2-pentene will be less than dipole moment of cis 2-pentene, but dipole moment of trans 2-pentene is not equal to 0 because both the vectors are opposite only but not equal. Is it clear to you? So don't consider that trans 2-pentene molecule dipole moment is 0. It is not equal to 0. Okay now? Now come to the very important example. Now you can see the board everyone. Here I gave you, okay, 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons are there. First carbon chlorine is there. So this molecule is what? 1-chloropropene, and I represented trans 1. Okay, this you can take as a trans 1-chloropropene it is. Now you can see here between this carbon and this this methyl group sp3 carbon, and this is what? sp2 carbon. So in these two, the dipole moment vector will be towards what? More electronegative element side. There is more electronegative carbon side, dipole moment will be there. Now between carbon and chlorine also, which is more electronegative? Chlorine is more electronegative. Now in this trans molecule of this 1-chloropropene, okay now, both the vectors are in same direction because this is sp3 carbon, you know that already, and this is what? sp2 carbon. sp2 carbon. sp2 carbon is more electronegative than sp3. That's what dipole moment vector will be towards sp2 carbon. Between carbon and chlorine, chlorine is more electronegative. That's what dipole moment vectors will be towards chlorine. So now both the vectors are in same direction. That's what trans will have more dipole moment. Now come to the cis one. Cis you can take here between carbon and chlorine. Chlorine is more electronegative. That's what dipole moment vector will be towards chlorine side. Between this CH3 and this double bonded carbon is more electronegative. That's what here this vector will be towards this sp2 carbon. So both the vectors are in opposite direction, but they are not equal. So here trans compound only will have more dipole moment than cis one. This is cis. Okay, so 1-chloropropene you can take trans 1-chloropropene, and cis 1-chloropropene you can take here trans only is having more dipole moment than cis. Is it clear to you? So that's what whenever you are deciding the polarity of a molecule, you need to go to that dipole moment vector because the vector quantity depends on both magnitude and direction. Now you can see this example. Trans 1-chloropropene is having more dipole moment than cis. Now here both are polar. Okay, for trans compound dipole moment is not equal to 0. For cis compound also dipole moment is not equal to 0. Both are polar, but in that trans is more polar than cis one. Like that we can come across about this example. Okay na? Right? Like these examples are very important. Always what we will remember, trans will be having less dipole moment or 0 dipole moment we will remember. But here trans one is more than cis. That's why always you can observe the direction of the vectors. Okay na? Now come to the ninth example. Here orthodichlorobenzene is there, metadichlorobenzene and paradichlorobenzene is there. Benzene is a planar molecule, already you know that. You can see the board here. Both the chlorine vector, chlorine is more electronegative than carbon. That's what here both the vectors in ortho position are in similar direction. Okay. Now in this meta direction you can take okay, these two vectors will be like this, and the resulting vector will be like this. Okay now. So here dipole moment is not equal to 0. Here also dipole moment is not equal to 0. But you can take para. Exactly they are equal and opposite. That's what resulting dipole moment of this molecule is what? 0. Now you can take orthodichlorobenzene and meta. Ortho will be more than meta. Ortho will be more than meta. Para is having 0 dipole moment. Here also, when I am explaining this example, students will remember that para will have less dipole moment. Now come to this example. Here I gave you on benzene ring, there is NO2 group and NH2 group. Observe the dipole moment vector. NO2 is what? Withdrawing group. When NO2 is withdrawing group, here dipole moment vector will be towards NO2 because it is electron withdrawing group. And NH2 is what? Donating group. Means nitrogen will donate electrons into the benzene ring. That's what here both the vectors in opposite direction. Now come to here, NO2 is right? NO2 is what? Withdrawing group. That's what dipole moment vector will be towards NO2. Here NH2 is donating. Now that's what dipole moment vector will be towards benzene. Benzene is taking electrons from this NH2 group. So now in para compound, both the vectors are in the same direction, but in ortho both are in opposite direction. That's what here para is more than what? Para is more than ortho. Okay, so the ortho-nitroaniline is having less dipole moment than para-nitroaniline. Okay, now we can take one more example also here. So we can take here, suppose on benzene two OH groups are there. Suppose benzene para portion two OH groups are there. Okay, so what the student will think, para means both are same groups are there, they will consider dipole moment is 0. But here OH group will be angular in shape, oxygen will be what? Angular in shape. Because of the angular shape of oxygen, okay, dipole moment of this molecule doesn't become 0. Okay, so dipole moment is not equal to 0. Don't remember that always para will have 0 dipole moment is wrong, and para will be less than ortho is also wrong. It always depends on the direction of the dipole moment vector. Here both the oxygens, whatever they are present, they are in angular shape. That's what resulting dipole moment is not equal to 0. Okay, na? Right. Come to the another very important example. This 11th example you can consider. PCl5 is there. It is trigonal bipyramidal in shape. Trigonal bipyramidal. Here there is a phosphorus. Okay, na? So 3 chlorines will be there within the plane, and one is above the plane, other one is below the plane. Because of these 3 vectors, let us see here. This phosphorus chlorine is more electronegative. Dipole moment vector will be towards chlorine. Here also dipole moment vector will be towards chlorine. Now in these two resulting vector will be in the middle of this direction, and this chlorine is having dipole moment vector like this. So these two are equal and opposite. Because of these 3 bonds, resulting dipole moment becomes 0. And axial bonds are there, they are also equal and opposite. Because of these two vectors also dipole moment is becoming 0. The overall dipole moment of this PCl5 molecule is what? 0. Similarly, PF5 molecule also you can take. PF5 molecule also will have same shape. That's what PF5 molecule also will have 0 dipole moment. So this PF5 molecule dipole moment is also 0. Now come to this PCl3F2 and PF3Cl2. These two examples are very important. How to represent this molecule PCl3F2? Okay, now let me write the structure of this PCl3F2. Here phosphorus is having 3 chlorines. The 3 chlorines will occupy the equatorial positions, and 2 fluorines are there. They will occupy the axial positions. Now you may ask the question, sir, why can we write like this only? Okay, so for trigonal bipyramidal geometry, we need to come across about a Bent rule. According to Bent rule, more electronegative element must be present in axial position. What Bent rule says? According to Bent rule, more electronegative element always should present in the axial position. That's what, this is only the correct structure for PCl3F2 molecule. Now these 3 are equal and opposite. Okay, now these 2 vectors in this direction resulting in this direction, and this is also chlorine. These 2 vectors are equal and opposite, resulting becomes 0, and these 2 chlorines are present in axial position, their resulting vector also becomes 0. So that's why this PCl3F2 molecule you can take its dipole moment will be 0. But come to this PF3Cl2. Just before I said you, what is the rule? I said you here that more electronegative element always should occupy the axial position. 2 fluorines will be present in the axial positions. Now one more fluorine you can write in the equatorial position. Remaining 2 chlorines will be in a equatorial position. Okay, now because of this, right, here chlorine dipole moment vector will be towards chlorine. This is also towards chlorine. This resulting vector will be in between them, but that is not equal to this fluorine phosphorus bond vector. So these 2 are now opposite only, but not equal. These 2 will be cancelled again, is it not? But the overall resulting dipole moment will not be equal to 0, because these 2 vectors are opposite only but not equal, because this is because of phosphorus chlorine bond, this is because of phosphorus fluorine bond. This vector is because of phosphorus chlorine bond, this vector is because of phosphorus and fluorine bond. Both are not equal. That's what PF3Cl2 molecule dipole moment is not equal to 0. Okay, na? Like this Bent rule we need to follow. What Bent rule? What Bent rule says? More electronegative element must be in axial position. More electronegative element must be in axial position in trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Now come to this 12th example. So there is methyl fluoride is there. Okay, na? After that methyl chloride and methyl bromide, methyl iodide is there. Now when you take these molecules, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine is there. Fluorine is more electronegative than chlorine, chlorine is more electronegative than bromine, and bromine is more electronegative than iodine. So what is the order we are expecting? 1 is having more dipole moment than 2, 2 will have more than 3, 3 will have more than 4. But originally the order was found to be Here, methyl chloride is only having more dipole moment than methyl fluoride. Methyl fluoride is having more than methyl bromide. Methyl bromide is having more than this methyl iodide. The reason for methyl fluoride is having less dipole moment than methyl chloride is what? Here, so I said you already, dipole moment mu is equal to what? Q into L. Always we will consider the Q value only. If Q is more, then it means electronegativity is more, charge separation will be more, then dipole moment will be more, we will consider. But between fluorine and chlorine, electronegativity difference will be less, means Q difference will be less, but L will be more, the L difference will be more. That's what, when you are taking the dipole moment of methyl fluoride and methyl chloride, I consider the value of L. So the chlorine is having larger size, due to that, so the methyl chloride is having more dipole moment. After that methyl fluoride, next methyl bromide and methyl iodide you can write. Now come to the last example, that is a 13th example you can take. Methane molecule is there, it is perfect tetrahedral. When you consider the tetrahedral, all the bonds are what? Hydrogens only. So here tetrahedral means what? 4 faces will be there. Every 2 opposite faces are equal and opposite. That's what resulting dipole moment is what? 0. For CH4 molecule, resulting dipole moment is 0. And for CCl4 molecule also, resulting dipole moment is what? 0. This is non-polar, this is also what? Non-polar. Now when come to these 3 examples, you can take, okay, let me give the numbering here. So this is 1, okay, this is 2 and this is 3. Most of the children, what they will feel, more number of chlorines are there, more number of electronegative atoms are there. That's what ClCl3 they will write more dipole moment. But the correct answer is what? This chloromethane only will have more dipole moment than dichloromethane. Dichloromethane will have more than trichloromethane, because when more number of chlorines are there, dispersion of that vectors takes place. Let us see, let me explain here. CH3Cl is there, suppose one of the hydrogen I am replacing with what? Chlorine. Now carbon chlorine, which is more electronegative? Chlorine is more electronegative, means this vector will undergo dispersion. Like that, if number of chlorines are increasing, what happens here? Dispersion of the vectors increases. When vectors are undergoing dispersion, then what happens? Dipole moment decreases. That's what chloromethane is having more dipole moment than dichloromethane. Dichloromethane is having more than trichloromethane. Like that, when different examples are given, based on the vector direction, we can decide the dipole moment of, resulting dipole moment of a molecule. Okay, so all these examples will be very, very helpful to you. You go to the all the examples. So based on this, like this, we can attempt any question based on polarity. More polarity is there, that molecule can undergo liquefaction easily. It can have a high critical temperature. It can undergo adsorption also readily. Great extent of adsorption will be takes place when you take polar compounds. Is it clear to you? So thank you for watching video. So don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. You can take the screenshot of the board. You can copy all the examples.